Hello everybody, this is TheMaskedGUI, and well, it's going to be a special New Year's episode of The Guy Behind the Mask. So I think I'm going to start off by saying Happy New Year. For the most part now, I think everyone will have celebrated it. That's not why I'm leaving it until the 2nd of January and not the 1st, it's just because I was busy yesterday. But 2012. Apparently the world's going to end. I don't buy into that. I think the world is going to go on for at least a few more years. I hope you all had good celebrations wherever you may have been. I had a quiet one this year. Just went to Tracy's house, and on New Year's Eve, just like during the day and stuff, we were like just around town. I bought this with Christmas money, and it is really, really good. I must play it properly. I'll probably spend a lot of today playing it, really. Plus, that makes me eligible to get Kid Icarus for free on the 3DS store in like 3 days, which is also pretty cool. But anyway, we just went around town and like looked in shops, and she bought a few DVDs and stuff. And then we went back to her place and we made donuts, which is kind of a big deal because I never really cook or bake or anything. So yeah, we made donuts and they were pretty nice. And then we just kind of had a little the two of us celebration, all romantic, and we had wine and stuff for New Year's. We didn't really have a countdown, so I kind of had to do it in my head, so it didn't fully work out because I apparently counted down too slowly or something. But still, it was close enough. Just a few seconds off the actual countdown. And then yesterday I was in her house, and we had New Year's Day dinner in her house with a small bit of her extended family, and I stayed over last night, and now I'm here and I'm back home, and it's really, really early in the morning. Well, it's 11 o'clock, but that's early for me, and I have been up for the past 2 or 3 hours now, and considering normally I sleep in until at least 12 o'clock, this is early for me. But I'm awake enough now, so I thought I might as well do this vlog, because I was going to get around to it at some point today. So 2011. I suppose it's been a relatively big year. One of the main things that we can all relate to is me being on YouTube, because I only started this a few months ago, which was in 2011, and I started doing YouTube with my very first video, which was a Terraria one. And I was awkward as hell in it, to be honest. But I think I kind of got adjusted pretty quickly, and my videos are still improving, I'd like to think. Hopefully you think so too. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot more videos in the future. But that was one of the main things that happened, is me starting up on YouTube and doing these gaming videos and vlogs. And hopefully I'll have more videos in the future too, who knows. And well, I started up on Twitter, because I think I did start a Twitter account ages ago, but I never really use it that much. But now, let's see, up to this date that I'm looking right now, I've had 1,494 tweets. I'm following 180 people, and I have 54 followers. I don't know how many of those 54 followers are actual people, that aren't spam bots or whatever, but they still count as followers, I suppose. And yeah, so and to be honest, Twitter, really, for anyone who's trying to establish a name for themselves on YouTube, is quite invaluable, really, just because it's a great way of networking and actually talking to people. And even if you don't get loads of attention, and you keep on tweeting people and just because they don't reply to you, but even still, then sometimes you actually do have conversations with people bigger than yourself, and it all kind of helps, And yeah, through that, and even just through YouTube, I've made people. I've met a lot of people on it. Some of them, we don't exactly talk a lot, but even still, there's a lot of people I've found on it, and just kind of little kind of online friends, who I suppose may not be as physically or emotionally close to me as my friends in real life. But in a way they are. I'm not exactly going to go naming loads of names because I don't want to leave anyone out. But I have made some new I'd like to call them friends, and hopefully they think I'm their friend too. As stupid and corny as I now realise that sounds, but still, I mean, I've met so many people and I hope to meet a lot more. And I'll kind of elaborate on some of those points again, because I actually have, this is also a special vlog because I've actually made a list of kind of things I'm going to talk about. Just because, I'm actually going to try and do this one right. Basically, I just have a notepad file right here next to this thing. Another thing, and I suppose it's on a less good note, worse you may even say, is I used to have 2 dogs, Max and Dodie. Earlier on this year, I'll be honest, I can't remember the exact day or date, but Max passed away. I mean, he was really old, and like we could see it coming, to be honest. But yeah, Max, I mean, we've had him for years and years, like over 10 years, no, just about, yeah. Well over 10 years actually, I think. But yeah, I mean, we've had Max for ages, so it was going to happen eventually, but that was kind of a sad point. I mean, I know people have probably lost people closer to them than just their dog, but I mean, he was a big part of our life, so that was sad. And he will be sorely missed, and he still is. But no, I mean, that was kind of one of the lowest points of the year, really. But otherwise, I mean, I must say 2011 was pretty good. I mean, I have been, like after finishing college and stuff, I was getting a bit kind of stuck being in home, just because, I mean, I live really far away from the city and stuff. But I mean, I'm still happy. I must say, overall 2011 was actually a very good year. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully 2012 will be even better. I mean, in like another 10 months, I'll be 21, I'll have my 21st birthday, and if I ever do go to America, I'll be legal to drink there too, because I mean, I'm already legal to drink here because it's 18. 18 is the age you have to be. But, and I can be 21 and I can go wherever I want and drink. And it's just a big birthday anyway, really. I probably won't feel any different than I do now. But, well, okay, obviously there'll be 10 months in between, some more stuff will probably happen that causes me to feel different, but you know what I mean. At some point, I can't actually remember the exact date. It's kind of the thing you'd think most people would actually remember, but I'll have my 1-year anniversary on YouTube at some point. I don't know, I can't remember the exact date that I uploaded the first video, but I'll probably do something special for that, and hopefully I'll have more like subscribers and views by then. And like, hopefully there'll be many more like games I get, and that I'll be able to do more videos on, because at some point I would like to branch out instead of just having 2 main series of Minecraft and Terraria. I would like to actually branch out and have kind of like much more things than just those 2 games, because they're really good, but I mean, they're probably some of the most commonly played games on YouTube, I suppose. So there would be no harm in doing more things than just those 2. And I have a few ideas in my head, but I'm not going to say anything just in case any of them don't actually happen. But I've got some ideas at the moment. And I mean, hopefully I got a whole year to do it. Hopefully I'm going to meet many more new people, whether like on Twitter or YouTube or just any other networks that are around. I hope to meet like lots more people, more of you guys, the viewers. Maybe not actually meeting you in person unless you're actually from anywhere near me in Ireland. But otherwise, yeah, even just more online people. You're fun, and I'm guessing a lot of my views actually come from online people and not just people who I know in real life and who are near me and I've asked to watch. But I hope to meet a lot more and kind of network with you guys and actually communicate more. I'm sure at some point I'm probably actually going to try and start live streaming. Maybe not a lot, but I do have a lot of free time, so I probably could. But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind starting some live streaming or just live chats or something. I don't know how many views I'd get, but who cares? I could keep on doing it and hopefully snowball effect and keep on building up and building up. I'd like to think anyway. What else is there? hopefully soon enough. I mean, I'm already an uncle, but I mean, hopefully soon enough, I'll be even more of an uncle because my sister is due any day now. So that's very exciting news for the family that there'll be another child for the next generation. A girl, we think. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. Another child to play with. I'm the kind of uncle who like plays with the children more than minds them. I mean, I'm not in charge of feeding them, my other nephew or niece, or changing nappies. That's something I don't plan on doing anytime soon. I'm the kind of I'm the kind of cool uncle who talks to his nephew about Pokemon and plays things, and my niece is 2, so she's easy to play with. She's entertained by whatever. Yeah. I think that was a lot of the main things really that I could think of for 2012. I'm not sure if there's really any other big things. No, not really. And so now, this takes me to my New Year's resolution. Normally I don't really bother with New Year's resolutions because I never actually keep them, but this one, I've been thinking about it now for, kind of around in December really. And it's ever since I started actually uploading on YouTube, I became conscious of it. So this is something really that it's actually a proper serious resolution. It's not just one of these kind of, crappy ones like, oh, I'm going to lose weight or eat less, and then you still just keep on eating everything and, whatever, and you just ignore it. This one is kind of like, there's all these kind of generic New Year's resolutions, where I'm going to I'm going to give up now because I can't actually think of any examples right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, this New Year's resolution basically, I'm going to start from the start. Ever since I found out about torrents, really, torrents are a very handy thing if you want to get things without paying for them. Some people call it stealing. They're probably right. And I'm no different, to be honest. I've torrented. And I've collected some torrented games in my time. And whether I downloaded them myself or got them from other people. And I had a folder of them in my hard drive and some games installed on my computer. Fair, where else would they be? But now, ever since I set up on YouTube, I've been conscious of this. And I mean, I know, a lot of people don't like torrents, they don't support it. Some people just don't feel very strongly about it, other people don't even just know what it is, or know how to do it, or anything, and so they're just happier, and they're all the better for it as well. And for anyone, and now I'm going to apologise in it first of all, for anyone who is completely against torrenting and who absolutely hates it. I am sorry for torrenting, and this is where my New Year's resolution comes in. About maybe 2 or 3 days ago, as just the beginning of it, I went onto my hard drive, my portable hard drive, because that's where I kept them, because there's more storage space. Went onto my hard drive, went into my games folder, and deleted every single game that I hadn't paid for, or that I had torrented, anything that I should have paid for but didn't. And I played them and whatever. And I just deleted everything. I mean, some games, are already free or I have paid for or whatever, and they're fine. I can keep those, obviously. But I got rid of everything else. And I went down to my computer, uninstalled all the games that were there that had been torrented, and deleted everything. And so now for 2012 I'm going to start a clean slate. And I'm not going to torrent any more games. I'm not going to play any more or anything, or accept them from anyone else. And now, kind of over time, whenever I have enough money, I'm going to save up money and then have some money set aside, and I'm just going to start buying any games that I've ever downloaded or anything that I've actually wanted to keep. Some games obviously I might have downloaded them and didn't think they were very good, so there's not really much point in paying for those, I don't think. But any game I want, I'm not just going to go, oh, I'm going to go onto this and see if I can download it for free. Download it for free, and I'm going to play it. No. I'm going to. Well, my credit card doesn't normally work with Steam properly. Well, it doesn't work at all because it's just the wrong type, and so it's not accepted by whatever means of payment Steam uses. But I'm going to go into the shop and see if I can find the game, and I'm just going to buy it like a normal person. And even I'm sorry for torrenting in the past, and I genuinely mean that. I am actually truly remorseful, and that's why I'm doing this. Because now as well, just because I'm trying to establish myself at least some bit on the internet, then the way I see it, I should clear my conscience and confess this to you. And yeah, some people may hate me for this, for having torrented at all, but I'm just trying to make it right. I'm trying to redeem myself. I know none of you knew this before, but you do now, and I just want it to be out in the open that I have done this in the past, but I am not doing it anymore. And I will never torrent any more games. I know it doesn't really seem like a very big confession because a lot of people don't torrent games, but I don't know. It's just something I felt I had to do. But the thing is too, it's not, I torrented games or whatever, but just because they're free, but there's so many other ways of getting free games that are actually legal. I've got several kind of old games from Good Old Games, which is like another kind of a game network, and they sell, in particular, more older games, hence the name Good Old Games. And you get a few like free ones when you sign up anyway, and every now and then they have like some kind of free games giveaway. Just kind of like, here's a free game from us kind of a thing. And I've got one or two of those as well. And in Steam, for Steam in particular, especially now during Christmas, there was like the whole the Great Gift Pile. And, there's achievements, and if you get whatever achievement for any of those games that are listed on it, you may get coal, you might get a voucher, or you could actually win a free game. I saw it before, and I may have gotten one or two of the achievements just for the games I had on my computer already, but I just kind of ignored it then because I didn't really use Steam a lot, because the only game I didn't really have any games on it. I had Terraria was really the main one, and that was pretty much the only reason I used it. But now I'm really getting into Steam properly. Ever since a few days ago, which was when really the whole deleting all the torrents thing hit me, and that was the day I just purely decided no more. And then I was on Twitter, and someone retweeted this competition thingy about giving away 2 free copies of The Ship, which is a game on Steam. And and it was being hosted by Sound the Alarm, which is a podcast. And so I thought, cool. And basically all you had to do was just reply to the tweet saying, I want the ship. And that's all you had to do. And so I did. And I went onto the page and started listening, and I checked them out, and it turns out they were podcasts, and I went onto their page and subscribed and stuff, and I entered the contest, and they followed me just so they could probably, let me know if I had won or not, and send me a message. And then I went onto iTunes, started out downloading them, started chatting to one of the guys, Adam, in the show, and I started listening to it, and I'm still kind of in the process of catching up, because there's 52 episodes now after last night, or yesterday, and I started listening to them, and they're actually really good. And kind of all this, while this downloading and stuff and talking to Adam was happening, then time was just passing, and then it came to the time where the competition was actually announced, or the winners were announced, and I just happened to be one of those winners, and so I won a copy of The Ship purely for free. Happy out. And I've discovered a really good new podcast in the meantime while entering the competition. And yeah, that's kind of what started it, winning The Ship. And I went on, and like I downloaded whatever, and I was all happy. And yeah, then the next day, because when I got the ship, I also got a free copy, along with the one I could actually play myself, and I also got a free copy that I could gift to someone else. So I gifted it to one of my friends in real life, and I sent it to him. And like he was like saying, "Oh, I should give you something in return now, or whatever." And I was just sending it to him because I had a spare copy. I didn't actually expect anything in return. And we were talking, and Gary's mod came up, and we were like talking about that and stuff. And then I started talking about it, and then he ended up gifting it to me because it was only like $2.50 on Steam at the time because of the sales. And yeah, he gave me Gary's mod, and I was like, yay, because I've wanted Gary's mod for ages. I still haven't really figured out much of what to do with it yet, but it's still really good. And yeah, so then I got like Steam and Gary's mod in like those past 2 days, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. And like I downloaded a few demos just for games, and well, obviously a few demos, and I started downloading any of the free games that you could get great gift pile achievements for, like Rise of Immortals and Crimecraft, Gang Wars, and Team Fortress 2 was one of the main ones. And yeah, I started downloading some of those, and I started getting the achievements. And then the first thing I got some coal, and then one of the first things I got was Flat Out. No, it wasn't. That was the second one. Cogs. I ended up, as one of the prizes, I got a game called Cogs, which is like a puzzle game. It's like mainly a kind of a puzzle slider, like, as a grade, and like you had to slide the pieces up and across and whatever. And like you have to do different things with the puzzle sliders, like, moving gears around so you can make mechanisms turn, or using pipes to send steam through pipes to power things. It's very steam powered kind of a based game, which I like because I love steampunk. And yeah, that was one of the games I won. And then like after getting some more achievements, I think it was later on the same day, I ended up as a prize winning Flat Out, the first one, which was pretty cool. I mean, I haven't played it in years, and when I did, I just kept on crashing into trees and flying out of my car and getting really frustrated. But that's beside the point, because I won a free game using a great gift pile. And so I really just kind of started realizing that there's so many ways that you can get like free games other than actually torrenting. I mean, whether I just enter loads of competitions and, hope to win, or like obviously paying for them yourself. And yeah, I know just any of these kind of like promotions that that anyone is having that just give away free games. And then there's also just games on the internet that just, there's kind of indie games and stuff, and they're just giving it away for free just so people can play it or test it out for them or whatever, So, yeah, I mean, I genuinely do feel bad for torrenting games, but I'm not doing that anymore. And the way I see it, I don't need to do it anymore, and I don't want to. I feel better too because when I actually buy games and I can use them on Steam, it's just more to it. There's like all the achievements and the kind of social side of it, like. And people can see what I'm playing, and I know there's always this kind of like whenever I kind of was playing games like that and talking, and if I ever talked about them, I just felt really like a kind of I kind of in the back of myself, I kind of felt ashamed that I was like saying, oh, I'm playing this really good game and I'm telling you guys about it, but I kind of knew that I shouldn't have been playing it. So yeah, I'm sorry if this seems like just a big long confession. And well, I suppose it is really. I'm confessing and I'm apologizing and I'm asking for your forgiveness. Any one of you people who are watching this video who absolutely hate that I torrented, or hate me for it, or just hate torrenting in general, I'm sorry, and I hope you won't think any less of me for it. Any of you people who don't really care, thanks. So yeah, that's a lot of it. But anyway, Sound the Alarm podcast. Now it's time to tell you guys about this really good new podcast I've discovered. Normally I don't actually listen to podcasts. I mean, really I've only ever listened to like a bit of the Yog Pod and Now Sound the Alarm. And I am gonna like give my time to listening to maybe 2 or 3 of their podcasts every day, because like they're an hour long, so I kind of have to take a fair chunk of my day out of it. But they're actually really funny because they recorded live on every Sunday evening. I mean, like 8 o'clock European Standard Time, or not European, sorry, I always get that mixed up. EST, Eastern Standard Time, I think is what it is, which is in America. Some parts of America. I don't know much about time zones because I only have one. And yeah, so I mean 8 o'clock then is like 1 o'clock here in Europe, or at least Ireland. Sorry, because there's different time zones here. In Ireland it's 1 o'clock AM, so it's fairly late. But last night I wasn't able to stay for the whole thing because it was really late and Tracy wanted to sleep. But I was there for about an hour, and it's even better live. I mean, it's fun listening to it when you're listening to the podcast, and it's funny and everything. But there's also like you can listen to them, and there's like a little camera feed so you can see them. But there's also a chat room thing there. So while you're listening to and watching them, you can also actually chat to them. And so they kind of, like then there's questions that they ask, and you answer in the chat room, and they kind of like say, the masked guy said this, and this is what he said, and it's very interactive. And even just kind of, you might be talking about random things and they might read it out, and if, it's funny, or if they like what you said, then they'll kind of say, oh yeah, and he said this thing. I mean, that dusty sausage thing just proves my point. Oh man, last night when they were talking about that, I could not breathe. I was just in hysterics laughing at it. So they're really, really funny. And just because there is a chat room, you can plan out exactly what you want to say, but there's always going to be some things that kind of change around. And I'm sure that's the same in any podcast. But I don't know, I just think it's really good, and I'm going to post a link to their page, to their website, in the description, because I do recommend that any of you guys who are watching it check it out. So yeah, now I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video, and sorry it's gone on for so long, but I've had a lot to say. So yeah, I'm not going to have this big long slow outro to this video, so I'm just going to pretty much end it here. Thank you guys for listening, and here's to another really good year of YouTube. Hopefully my quality just gets better and better, and thank you for all the support you've given me in the past few months since I've started here. Thank you, everybody. See you all during the year. Sorry, that was terrible. Bye.